Sarah, hello again.
Hello.
So, we are doing these regular recordings. We don't know how regular. It could be weekly, it could be, oh, is daily too much? I don't know. Um,
I'm sure we'll
so we're
find
going to
out. Somebody will tell us.
have a topic of discussion. And I think today's topic you said was, when did you last feel like you? Is that right?
Yeah, when did you last feel like yourself?
Like yourself. That's a really interesting
Completely.
question.
When did you last feel completely like yourself?
Right, okay. When did you last feel completely? I think that's a really interesting question. I got a sneaky feeling people don't know what it feels like. When did you last feel completely like yourself?
Well, how many of us know what ourself is?
Mm,
It doesn't even make sense. What
yeah,
our own self is.
yeah. What's your norm? And this leads me into, my area of expertise about creating a baseline or getting people back to their natural baseline.
Hmm.
We've lost the art of listening to our bodies, and we've had this conversation. You talked about, I think it was a singing bowl experience
Yeah, yeah.
where
I
you
started.
realised,
Yeah, I went along to a singing bowl experience for the first time. I had a migraine starting, but I was so interested in doing this experience. Um, I hadn't long moved here, so I didn't know anybody. And I went along. It was very loud, and it went on for an hour. And then I came home with a really bad migraine attack. But once that was gone after a couple of days. I suddenly felt like I just jumped into my body.
mm,
And you know what? That made me realize that I had never for I don't know when or how long, but I wasn't actually living inside my own body.
mm,
I wasn't
mm,
acting and being
yeah,
as my
yeah,
inside as my body. I was separate from my
yeah.
body. Is that what I'm trying to say? I don't know if it's down to chronic illness or if I've always been. I'm starting to think that I've never actually been inside my body. That I've always lived in my head.
That's true. I think it was Ken Robinson who talked about professors who have this section here, and their bodies just move their brains around, and that was quite evocative for me because that's how I see it for most people. But you are a whole person, head to toe, inside and out, and we don't realize how much we take our bodies for granted.
Yeah, absolutely.
we we don't realize what we're doing to our bodies. We take it for granted and we abuse the body. But the body is not just a means of transport for the brain.
Mm.
It's a whole body event. To actually feel like yourself, you need to really connect. And I do something like this with my clients and on my master classes. So if you imagine, well, put your attention into your feet, and if we can do it right now, put your attention. You might want to close your eyes. I'm going to keep my eyes open so I know that the signal's okay. But if you put your attention into your feet, ignore everything that's going on around you, whether it's dogs barking, postman, it's somebody else next door's music. Doesn't let that go. Put your attention into your feet and start to feel it. As it's still quite warm here, it might be that you're barefoot. You might be able to feel the carpet underneath, or if you've got something on your feet, you might be able to feel that. It could be the fabric, or if you're wearing slippers, that it might be the fluffy base of the slippers that you can feel on the sole of your foot. Does your foot feel dry? Does your foot feel tense? And all I'm doing is focusing on this one area of your feet. So as I'm feeling it, I can feel a slight tingle, which is normal for me. It's not scary. It's normal. Your blood circulating. You might be able to feel a little pulse. You might be able to feel flies on your skin. Or as you're in Scotland, Sarah, it might be midges. And so just with that, okay, so bring yourself back into the room. Just with that one little focus on the feet, it's taken you out of your environment and brought you into your body. And so you can start asking questions like, what does my body need? How does it feel? Am I cold? You know, there are some times, have you ever done this, Sarah? I've sat at my desk, I've been totally engrossed, usually on Canva, and and I suddenly feel that my legs are so cold. Not in the summer, but in the winter, I just, because I've been so focused, I
Yeah,
didn't notice. And then I chose to ignore it.
yeah,
And then I have to go and get an electric blanket because my torso is so cold that I can't actually warm up.
yeah,
And you know, that's the sort of thing about it's we could talk about the emotional side of feeling like yourself. But that is the physical side of things. So what about the emotional side? So you were talking about it a little bit more from the emotional aspect when you realized that you dropped into your body and you were aware. And it's the same with nutrition.
yeah,
So what does your body need? Not feeding the dopamine, not feeding your addictions. It's about, what does my body need? Does it need hot? Does it need cold? What does it what would be good for you? Not necessarily what are the guidelines that you should eat. Do you want meat? Do you want fish? Do you want vegetables? Do you want salad? You know, I know at Christmas, usually at Christmas time, when everything's quite high starch and carbohydrates, I really want high water content food like cucumber,
oh,
something that's fresh.
yes, yeah, yeah. But I am listening to my body now. I go out barefoot in the grass or barefoot in the sand, and it is one of the best experiences, barefoot in the sea or in the
Mm,
river. But
mm,
since you've given me this plant paradox diet, and I can actually feel how happy my tummy is, and this is so
mm,
weird. People are going to think I'm crazy, but my stomach has been in pain and upset for years.
mm,
And you just think, just my stomach. I always blamed my body. For
mm,
all of my symptoms, I always blamed my body. I know better now. I know that my body was crying for me to listen, and I'm now
mm,
beginning to listen to it and what a difference it's made.
mm,
That diet that you suggested to me has taken away all of my fatigue, and I've only been on it a month.
mm,
And I feel tiredness, and I love it because it's normal. Because I get to 5 o'clock or 6 o'clock, and I think, oh my God, I'm so tired.
mm.
But no, it's not fatigue tired, and I think to myself, of course I'm tired. Look what I've done today.
Yes.
But
Yeah.
it's and I can smile because it's not that fatigue where you're never going to sleep, your body's never going to relax. You're just basically a vegetable waiting for hope, or hoping that the fatigue will lift at some point. And
Mm,
it's awful. And
mm,
that's all gone. So, and I'm happy to feel tired now.
mm.
I put a post up the other day there saying I'm tired and happy, and it's great. But I understand what listening to your body is, because
Mm,
I can hear happiness or satisfaction in my stomach, and not all the time. It's not that I get it right all the time, because I don't, because I'm
mm.
still testing this diet out.
Absolutely.
But and they still, it's not a diet. I wouldn't call it a diet. I'd call it a lifestyle
Yes, that's
because
great. Yes.
it is a life, isn't it?
Mm,
Because my body is now responding
mm.
in ways. It's almost like training with Hugo. So we've been doing all
Hugo's the
this
dog, by the way,
training. Yeah, yeah.
not
We've
the
been doing
husband.
all this. There's no way I'm going to be able to train Mike. That's never going to work. But the dog, I'm not quite sure it's going to work with the dog. But I kind of think, you know, we're asking the dog, we can't listen to what the dog is trying to tell us. But what I found through the training is that I'm listening to him more and
Mm.
I'm looking for signals
Yes,
that tell me what he needs. And
yes,
he now
yeah.
can nudge. He's
Mm,
learned to nudge us, to tell us. And I know on the internet you see all these dogs and they've got all these push buttons and they pop them whenever they want something. And every button has a like food, feed me or walk me or whatever
mm,
they are. I've seen dogs with like 30 of them and I'm thinking that's crazy because Hugo can't
mm,
even lift a paw
mm,
to do a treat thing.
mhm.
So he's a really strange dog, but I'm feeling that I'm listening, whereas I thought I was training, but the training is actually about listening. And so
Yeah,
is this body thing,
yeah.
being inside yourself and actually listening with no judgment, no blame,
Mhm,
just with a
mhm,
little bit of compassion.
mm,
And it makes all the difference. Whatever's
mm,
going on in your life, I think any kind of practice like this is worthwhile. And
mm,
it's very good for your creativity as well,
mm.
because it allows you that quiet time. And you're
Yes.
connected to your body, you're
Yeah,
connected to
yeah,
your soul, you're
yeah,
connected to all the parts of you that make you you.
yeah.
And that's what you're bringing to your creativity or
And
to
then
your
you can write about it, can't
life.
you?
Yeah,
Yeah.
or you write with more vitality, with more energy, with more clarity
Mm,
when you are connected to yourself
mm,
and connected to nature, of course.
mm, mhm.
That does help.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a weird thing. It's a weird thing. I do feel because I've been doing internal family systems as well, but that hasn't worked quite as well for me. I do feel like my tummy is smiling. And I hope that it wants to be slimmer because I want it to be slimmer. So I'm hoping it's smiling, thinking, yay, we're going to get rid of all this fat. I remember when I was at uni going along to an autopsy, and for the first time in my life, I saw fats. I know I've kind of dodged the
You've
conversation a little bit.
you've jumped. You've
I
jumped. But
saw a
tell you
real
what. Tell
fat.
you what. Mm,
And ever since then, I've thought about the fat in my body, but it hasn't driven me to do anything about it.
mm,
I've put on so much weight the last few years since I've not been well and I always have that fat picture in my head. So I'm living
mm.
with that as well. So it's a
But
weird
don't
thing.
don't but don't you think, Sarah, that rather than um beating yourself up about being overweight. I mean, it happens to a lot of women, me included. We get to a certain point in life, we go through menopause, stuff happens, we eat too much, we drink too much, and then we get to the point where we think, oh, we have that realization, don't we, of I don't feel good. I don't feel good. When you get that sense of I don't feel good, then you know that you can start to make positive change,
Yeah.
and it has to be something that you want to do, not something that you feel you should, because I'm guessing that with the shoulds, it's not going to
Never
last.
going to work. For me,
Mm,
it was the driver was pain. For me, it was I've let this go on for way too long.
mm,
And all sorts of weird things were happening in my body and in my stomach. And it just wasn't, I was just not able to function as well. And
mm.
so I took it to the last degree. I left it as long. And I think we all do this. We would just ignore it. We just go
Yeah, we
on
do.
and keep
Yeah.
going, keep going. It doesn't matter. I
Mm.
want that cake, I want that ice cream or whatever. And it doesn't, and your body has to give you these messages over and over and over again, at least for if you're me, in order to listen. But now
Mm,
I'm more willing to listen now because of the experience I've had of feeling happy in my body for
mm,
the first time in years,
mm,
years.
mm.
So it is well worth it.
And I'm going to wrap up this session by saying it's going to get better.
Mm. Mm-hmm. It's always going to get better. Whatever the issue is, it's going to get better. What's better though? So there's a conversation. What
Maybe
is,
next time.
yeah, yeah, yes, next time. See you next time, Karen.
Okay, bye for now.
Bye.